Hey guys, just wanted to share with you a session that I had with one of my clients today. And it's around alcohol and it's around behavior, relationships, social life. But more importantly, it's around the identity that a lot of men create with alcohol. See, for a lot of men, especially like this client and for myself, and I've been sober for 5 years now, alcohol was my identity as well. And this client was struggling with alcohol being the identity to the point where he doesn't want to drink anymore. He's looking after his mental, his physical, his spiritual. He's evolving his life. He's evolving his relationships. He's becoming a better leader. And alcohol just doesn't serve him anymore. And he doesn't want alcohol in his life. But one of the hardest areas of his life is that all of his friendships and all of his social life and even his business and his business colleagues and clients and partners, everything's revolved around alcohol, around going to lunch, around having a few beers, around going camping with his mates, around going to sports games and footy matches and just getting on it, right? Just going out, having the beers and all of his everything being revolved around alcohol. And his biggest fear was, how do I not drink around them without getting ridiculed, being called names, or put peer pressure on me, or making somebody else feel awkward because I don't want to drink and that's what they're used to, because that's how they know me as a person. It's like when you catch up with me, you have a few beers. This is challenging for a lot of men. A lot of men have been growing up in a culture around alcohol. I know I grew up in a culture around alcohol. My dad was a big drinker. Rugby culture was all about drinking. I used to love getting on it. I used to love drinking and had so much fun, and my whole identity was around drinking. What I shared with him and what's so important is that you can't avoid people forever as a way to stop the drinking. So for this guy and for a lot of people who decide that they want to cut back or they want to stop the drinking, the first thing that they say to themselves is, well, I just need to decline any invitation and not go to these events or not do these things that are just all around alcohol and alcohol induced. And that there can be good for a short period of time when you go through a bit of a healing phase and you're kind of re-identifying with yourself and you want to remove yourself from, I guess, the pressures of the environment or going to events that are drinking. But if you avoid and say no to things for too long, your biggest fear is around losing your friends. Your biggest fear will be around losing your social circles. Your biggest fear is feeling rejected, feeling like you're losing a massive part of your life around friendship, around social functions and the like. So as I said to this client, it's okay to create your challenges in sport and fitness as a way to say, hey, look, I'm doing an 8 or a 10-week challenge. I'm not drinking. It's part of it. But what are you going to say to them after that challenge? And it's okay to say no to a couple of, I guess, events or going on trips and so forth with the guys as a way to not be in that environment. But you can't always say no. The only way that you can reduce or stop drinking and maintain those friendships and change your identity around drinking is you have to be honest. You have to be transparent and you have to share with your friends, which, here's a caveat, will help you identify who your true friends are. You have to share with them that you're now working on yourself, that you're now doing the work and that you don't want to drink anymore and that drinking doesn't serve you. And that you're trying to break free from this identity of drinking and you're happy to catch up with them and you want to socialize, but it's not going to be around heavy drinking. There is only one way through this, and that is to be honest. If you use excuses and you avoid and you don't go to events and you literally change your whole life and become a hermit and avoid or run away from situations that might trigger you to drink, you are going to end up feeling like you've lost so much in your life that you'll probably end up drinking or going back to it because of this relationship and this identity and this connection. So just be honest with people. Be honest with your friends, be honest with your family, be honest with your colleagues, and just share with them you don't want to drink anymore. It doesn't serve you. You want to be a better person. This is a big cultural identity shift that a lot of people want to make, but they can't make because they feel trapped in this circle. So I hope that helps. I talk to a lot of my clients around drinking, addictions, behaviors, identity, and all that sort of stuff. And if this is an issue or an area of your life where you really want to change your habits and your identity around something like alcohol, and you just don't know how to, and you don't know how to break free, you don't know how to change it, and you feel quite trapped and stuck in this identity, then reach out to me. I'm happy to have a chat with you and share with you more around how we do the deep healing work for our clients so that it becomes so much easier for them to not just stop a bad habit, but to also build the confidence, the self-worth, and the self-love that they can actually really respect themselves and step up and explain to the world that this is not who they are anymore. And you will be surprised. The amount of people who will step up, the amount of people who will actually feel motivated and elevated and will want to be around you because they too probably don't want to drink as much. So it's around elevating each other, right? But it all starts with us. We have to be true to ourselves, and we have to let go, quit, and break that old identity and those old habits that aren't serving us. Because if we're not serving us and we're not looking after ourselves, we're not being the best friend. We're not being the best husband. We're not being the best father. We're not being the best businessman. We're not being the best for ourselves. We're not being the best for everybody else. So if you want to raise up, you want to elevate, you want to break old habits, reach out to me. I'm happy to have a chat. Have an amazing day. Cheers.